You say you want to grow, but growth is not a mood. Growth is not a quote. Growth is not a moment of inspiration at 2 in the morning, when your pain finally becomes loud enough to hear. Growth is confrontation. Growth is seeing yourself clearly. Growth is recognizing that some of the suffering in your life is not just what happened to you, it is also what you keep repeating. Personal growth begins the moment you stop running from self-awareness. The moment you stop blaming the world for patterns you refuse to break. The moment you stop decorating dysfunction with spiritual language. The moment you stop calling delay, timing, fear, wisdom, and self-abandonment love. Growth begins when truth enters the room, and truth is not always gentle. Sometimes truth shakes you. Sometimes truth exposes you. Sometimes truth shows you that the cage door has been open, but you have still been sitting inside because freedom demands responsibility. Personal growth requires discipline. Not just desire, not just vision, discipline. Because the life you want will always be blocked by the habits you protect. You cannot think your way into transformation while living undisciplined. You cannot pray for peace while feeding chaos. You cannot ask for elevation while staying loyal to what keeps you small. Growth demands a new standard, and that standard shows up in the quiet things, in what you do when nobody is watching, in how you speak to yourself, in whether you pause before reacting, in whether you tell the truth, in whether you honor your own boundaries, in whether you keep choosing what heals you over what is familiar. Personal growth also requires emotional regulation, because if every trigger becomes your master, then your emotions are not informing your life, they are ruling it. You have to learn how to feel without collapsing, how to hurt without self-destructing, how to be activated without becoming reckless, how to stay aligned while your inner world is being challenged. That is maturity. That is power. That is self-mastery. And then there is your environment. Some of you are trying to rise in places that are devoted to your confusion. Some of you are asking for clarity while surrounding yourself with noise. Some of you are asking for healing while entertaining what keeps reopening the wound. Everything around you is feeding something. Your peace or your chaos. Your discipline or your distraction. Your truth or your illusion. Choose carefully and stop waiting to feel ready. You may never feel ready. You may never feel fully confident. You may never feel fully prepared. But growth does not wait for perfect feelings. Growth responds to courageous decisions. Take the step, set the boundary, change the pattern, tell the truth, return to yourself. Because growth is not perfection. Growth is alignment. It is the sacred decision to come back to who you are meant to be, again and again and again. And every time you do that, you become less divided, less lost, less ruled by fear, and more rooted in truth. That is personal growth. Not performance, not appearance, not pretending. Transformation, integrity, alignment, power. Personal growth starts with awareness, deepens through truth, strengthens through discipline, and becomes sustainable through emotional regulation and aligned action. Subscribe to Integrity444 LTQS for more content on healing, self-mastery, and aligned living.